This deep dive, well, it comes with a heavy heart.
Yeah,
As you all likely know, we lost a true icon this week.
we did.
Former Senator and Truth and Reconciliation Commission Chair Murray Sinclair passed away at the age of 73.
That's a tough one.
It is. It's a loss that's deeply felt, I think, across Canada.
For sure.
And we want to start by offering our condolences to his family and friends.
Absolutely.
It's hard to overstate the impact
Oh, yeah.
that Murray Sinclair had.
Yeah.
Not just on Indigenous communities,
Right.
but on the very fabric of Canada.
Yeah.
He was a tireless advocate for justice and reconciliation. And his legacy, I think, will continue to inspire generations to come.
Absolutely.
To honor his memory, we wanted to dedicate this deep dive to exploring his incredible life
Yeah.
and the lessons that we can all learn from his work. The story of resilience,
Oh, yeah.
determination, and unwavering commitment to truth.
For sure.
You know what strikes me is how much he achieved, coming from a time and place where the odds were really stacked against him.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he was born in 1951,
Right.
when Indigenous people in Canada couldn't even vote,
Couldn't vote.
raised by his grandparents on the St. Peter's Indian Reserve in Manitoba. He experienced firsthand the systemic inequalities and discrimination that Indigenous people faced.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he shares some really poignant anecdotes about this in his memoir, Who We Are.
Oh, wow.
Like there's this one where he was one of just a handful of Indigenous students in a non-Indigenous school system.
Oh, wow.
And he talks about the feeling of being an outsider,
Yeah.
the prejudice he encountered, how it fueled his determination to fight for change.
I can only imagine that feeling of being an outsider in that situation.
And even in those early years, you see glimpses of the leader he would become.
Yeah.
He excelled in athletics in high school.
Really?
Yeah, it's a testament to his drive and focus.
Oh, wow.
But his real passion was for justice. And that led him to pursue a career in law.
Of course.
And what a groundbreaking career it was.
Yeah.
He became the first Indigenous judge in Manitoba.
Wow.
Think about that. The first.
The first.
And only the second in all of Canada.
That's incredible.
That's a monumental achievement, and it speaks volumes about his talent and dedication.
It really does.
It was more than just a personal victory, though.
Oh.
It was a symbol of progress.
Yeah.
A sign that Indigenous people could break through barriers
Yeah.
and make their voices heard in the legal system.
For sure.
And his work didn't stop there.
No.
He went on to co-chair the Aboriginal Justice Inquiry of Manitoba.
Okay.
And that inquiry was born out of tragedy. The deaths of Helen Betty Osborne and J.J. Harper.
Right.
These cases tragically highlighted the systemic failures in how the justice system treated Indigenous people.
Yeah.
The inquiry's purpose was to investigate those failures, to
Yeah.
understand why these injustices were happening, and to recommend ways to fix them.
Right.
It was a massive undertaking. And Sinclair's leadership was crucial in bringing about real change.
Absolutely.
This is where his ability to listen, to empathize, really shines through.
Yeah.
He wasn't just a legal expert. He was someone who genuinely cared about the people impacted by these issues.
For sure.
He understood the deep pain and trauma caused by the systemic injustices faced by Indigenous communities.
Absolutely.
And that empathy became even more important
Yeah.
when he took on the role that would define his legacy.
Okay.
Chair of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission,
Yeah, right.
the TRC.
Yeah.
This is what most Canadians probably know him for.
Right.
The TRC was tasked with investigating the horrific legacy of residential schools,
Yeah.
a dark chapter in Canadian history that many were trying to sweep under the rug.
For sure.
These schools were designed to forcibly assimilate Indigenous children, stripping them of their language, culture, and identity.
Yeah.
It was a system rife with abuse and trauma, and its impacts are still felt deeply today.
Absolutely.
Sinclair sat through hundreds of hearings,
Wow.
listening to the heart-wrenching testimonies of thousands of survivors.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine the emotional toll that must have taken?
Yeah, that would be a lot to carry.
To hear story after story of pain and suffering, and yet remain steadfast in his commitment to uncover the truth.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It speaks to his incredible strength and resilience.
Absolutely.
He knew that bringing these stories to light was essential for healing and reconciliation to begin.
Right?
And the TRC's 2015 final report was a watershed moment.
Yeah.
It didn't shy away from the truth,
No.
labeling the residential school system as cultural genocide.
Yeah.
It was a powerful statement,
Mm-hmm.
and it led to the 94 calls to action.
Right.
Concrete steps for the Canadian government to address the ongoing legacy of these schools and work towards reconciliation.
Absolutely.
And within these calls, there's a real emphasis on education,
Oh, okay.
on understanding the truth of what happened. One of the calls specifically urges the federal government to develop and implement a national history curriculum
Okay.
on residential schools for all students in Canada. It's about ensuring that future generations learn from the past and don't repeat these mistakes.
Absolutely.
I remember Sinclair saying that education got us into this mess and education will get us out.
Wow.
He firmly believed in his power to both inflict harm and bring about healing.
Yeah.
It's a message that resonates deeply, especially considering his own journey.
For sure. Sinclair's legacy, it's so much more than a list of accomplishments or awards.
Right.
It's about the way he approached reconciliation.
Yeah.
You know, with a focus on truth, understanding, and a belief in the power of collective action.
He really emphasized that reconciliation wasn't just the responsibility of the government or Indigenous communities.
Yeah.
It was something that all Canadians needed to be a part of.
Yeah.
And he had this incredible ability to connect with people from all walks of life and to make them see how reconciliation was essential for building a better future for everyone.
It's fascinating how he tied reconciliation to the very fabric of Canada, saying that if we want a strong and vibrant society, we need to address these historical injustices and build bridges between communities.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't about guilt or blame. It was about understanding and respect.
And he didn't shy away from the complexities of this work.
No.
In his memoir, he talks about how reconciliation needs to happen on both an individual and a systemic level.
Right.
It's about dismantling oppressive systems and structures.
Yeah.
But it's also about each of us taking responsibility for our own biases and being open to learning from different perspectives.
For sure, yeah.
He was a strong advocate for Indigenous self-determination, for recognizing the inherent rights of Indigenous peoples to govern themselves and make decisions about their own future.
Yeah.
He saw that as a key part of reconciliation.
Absolutely.
Moving beyond symbolic gestures towards concrete actions that empower Indigenous communities.
Right. Taking action.
And you can see that reflected in some of the TRC's calls to action.
Yeah.
Like the call for the implementation of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's about creating a framework for reconciliation.
Right.
That's based on respect for Indigenous rights and self-governance.
Absolutely.
Since the TRC released its final report, we've seen some progress. There's been a growing awareness, I think, of Indigenous issues.
Right.
And a greater commitment to incorporating Indigenous perspectives into policy decisions.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But there's still a long way to go.
Oh, yeah.
We're still grappling with systemic racism, inadequate access to essential services for many Indigenous communities, ongoing challenges related to land rights and self-governance.
For sure.
And Sinclair spoke about these issues with such clarity and conviction.
Yeah.
He didn't sugarcoat the reality of the situation. Right.
But he also never lost sight of the importance of hope.
Yeah.
He believed in the power of collective action, in the potential for transformation, even when things seem bleak.
Yeah, for sure.
What's really striking is how he framed reconciliation as an act of love.
Oh, wow.
It's a choice to believe in a better future and work together to make it a reality.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to think about it.
It's not about dwelling on the past, but about learning from it and using that knowledge to build a more just and equitable society.
For sure.
He often said that reconciliation is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
And he encouraged everyone to find their own place in that journey, to figure out how they could contribute to creating a better future for all Canadians.
Absolutely, yeah.
It could be through education, through supporting Indigenous-led initiatives, through advocating for policy changes.
For sure.
There are so many ways to get involved.
He challenged us to think about what kind of legacy we want to leave behind.
Yeah.
Just like he did. He asked, what will you do to make Canada a better place?
Oh, wow.
It's a question that I think we should all be asking ourselves.
Absolutely, yeah.
A powerful call to action. And I think it speaks to the heart of what made Murray Sinclair such an exceptional leader.
For sure.
He wasn't just fighting for Indigenous rights.
Right.
He was fighting for a better Canada for everyone. As we wrap up this deep dive into Murray Sinclair's life and legacy,
Yeah.
one quote from his memoir keeps coming back to me.
Okay.
He wrote, "Reconciliation is about changing the way we think about ourselves and each other."
Mm-hmm.
It really gets to the heart of what he was trying to achieve.
It does.
It's about recognizing our shared humanity,
Right.
acknowledging the harm that's been done,
Yeah.
and committing to building a better future together.
Together.
It's a process that requires honesty, empathy, and a willingness to challenge our own assumptions.
Absolutely.
He constantly challenged us to confront uncomfortable truths,
Yeah.
to understand the history of this country,
Right.
and to see how that history continues to impact the present.
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't want us to shy away from the difficult conversations.
No.
Because he knew that real change can only come from acknowledging the truth.
Absolutely.
And he saw education as a vital part of that process.
Oh, yeah.
He firmly believed that learning about Indigenous history, cultures, and perspectives was crucial for fostering understanding and empathy.
For sure.
It's about moving beyond stereotypes.
Right.
And seeing Indigenous peoples as they truly are, with their own rich histories, vibrant cultures, and diverse perspectives.
For sure.
He was such a gifted storyteller.
He was.
And he used that gift to connect with people and make them care about these issues.
Absolutely.
He knew that stories have the power to change hearts and minds,
Yeah.
to create bridges between communities, and to inspire action.
Absolutely.
And his own story is a testament to that power.
Oh, yeah.
He came from humble beginnings, faced discrimination and adversity, yet he rose to become one of the most influential figures in Canadian history.
He did.
His life is an example of what's possible when we combine passion, determination, and a deep commitment to justice.
Absolutely.
His legacy extends far beyond the legal precedents he set or the awards he received.
Yeah.
It's about the countless lives he touched, the communities he empowered, and the generations he inspired.
Yeah, for sure.
He leaves behind a powerful challenge for all of us
Yeah.
to continue the work of reconciliation,
Right.
to build a Canada that truly honors the contributions of all its people.
That's what we need.
As we remember Murray Sinclair,
Yeah.
let's not just mourn his passing, but celebrate his incredible life and the profound impact he had on this country.
He had a huge impact.
His spirit, his wisdom, and his unwavering belief in a better future will continue to guide us
It will.
on the path toward reconciliation.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of remembrance and reflection. We hope this deep dive has helped you understand the legacy of this extraordinary man
Yeah.
and inspired you to take action in your own life.
For sure.